Hello and welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. I'm your host, Ty Christensen.
The creepy music.
Yeah, if you can call it music. I'm pretty sure that's someone doing it with their voice, like clearly doing that sound with their mouth. Kind of gross. And we've got Jordan Christensen.
Is he dead? Not quite. Not even close!
That dude's a Terminator.
And we have Cameron Mickle.
Will somebody shut him up?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that poor guy. Like,
What
I
is
thought
out
it was
there?
super weird.
My actual quote is, what is out there? Boundless human stupidity. I can live with that. What? What is this movie?
I mean, I thought that was so crazy. Like, you know, she's like a feminist who hates like the mentally handicapped. Like, how is that possible? Like, who calls him a retard in this movie? Someone does.
It's
like,
what's his name? It's Knife Guy 2.0.
yeah, Knife Guy. Cameron, this is the first one. Yeah, this is
Yeah, I
the
know.
sequel, guys.
Quentin. It's Quentin. Yeah.
But she's not
Quentin
only
calls him a
hates
retard.
handicapped people, she also fat shames. She's like, "What? You weigh like 500 pounds? We're not lifting you out of there."
I know.
And then, yeah, you know, she hates cops, so she still got that accurate, you know, as far as feminists go.
Yeah. We gotta blow the
like,
lid
"You
off
pay-"
this thing!
Then she's like, you guys are all the same. One big
They're all the
conspiracy.
same.
I'm like, what the fudge? I don't think you understand how the government works.
Yeah, not the most woke as far as college students go, but maybe it was considered woke at the time. Oh, the times are
Dude, how about the
changing.
scene where Quentin's like, we are two pieces of the puzzle, and he's like slowly hugging her, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Ah!"
Oh
That's
my
the
gosh.
creepiest
Slowly
shit
hugging her.
ever.
Dude,
Yeah, dude.
no, yeah. Not,
Freaking rapist.
Okay, guys, if you don't know what movie we're talking about Cube. We're talking about Cube.
Cube.
If you look up Cube in IMDb, Ice Cube comes first. I just want that to be said on the pod. This movie
Cube.
came out in 1997, and it was directed by, I'm going to butcher this name, Vincenzo Natali.
Or Vincenzo.
Oh, yeah. Is it Portuguese, Cameron? Is
No, I had a friend
Vincenzo?
who, yeah, his name was Vincenzo.
Or Italian.
Yeah, and his parents were Italian.
Vincenzo Natali. Yeah, if it ends in an I, it probably is an Italian.
Yeah, I think
Look
it's
at me.
Vincenzo.
Vincenzo. It was written by Andre Bichelik and Vincenzo Natali and Grammy Manson.
Guys, I'm just gonna say, I thought I was really nervous watching this again. I'm like, oh crap, maybe it's not as good as I remember, and it's even better.
by better, it's this movie is wild. Okay, we have to get into it because there's a lot of weird things that I was like, I thought the sequel. The sequel is more outlandish than this one, but this one had some things that I
don't
actually
know.
did like. Yeah, and some things that I
don't
definitely didn't like. So,
Number 2 just copy and pasted this and then just tried to throw on some big brain concepts that made no sense.
yeah,
But some of the
yeah.
deaths in this one are pretty great.
Yes, I will give it that. There's some funny deaths. Like, they're certainly more gruesome and menacing than the
Yeah,
sequel.
like the
'cause
Wolf
sequel,
of Snow
the deaths
Hollow
are
when they
absurd.
freaking like picks the girl up with the freaking knife. I was like, dang.
Oh, that was the door turner. He stabbed
know.
her with it.
Yeah. Takes her up
Yeah,
at
but
the
he
door.
still picked
Yeah.
her up. I was like, what is
How
this,
did he get
Wolf
the
of Snow
handle
Hollow?
off? I'm so confused. Anyway,
So many
let's get right
questions.
into this movie. What was it like watching this movie for the first time and rewatching it for the podcast? Jordan, why don't you start us off? You love this one, don't
Please.
you?
Enlighten us.
Oh my goodness,
The
where
sick
do I
obsession.
start?
Oh, where do I
So
start?
first time I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh, this movie's amazing. And I'm like, I gotta watch them all. And
How many are there?
Yeah, how many cube movies are there? There are 3 cube movies. That's too many.
And then obviously,
too many.
I would say the platform is kind of like a remake of it. It's just like
Yes, I think it's funny. I got serious platform vibes watching it this time because my first time watching Cube, I hadn't seen platform. Now that I watch platform, I'm like,
What is it, El
a
Hoyo?
lot of similarities. Yeah.
El Hoyo.
Mi caracol.
yeah, it's kind of
Plus.
it's kind of fun because our second episode was platform. 50 episodes later, Cube 2, and now episode 100 we're doing Cube.
And I can't imagine what we're doing for 150.
Can't
even predict.
It's actually called Cube 0, Cameron. Okay, get it right.
Oh my god.
Is it called Cubed? No,
No,
it's not
no.
called Cubed.
No,
like
it should have
Cube
been.
3?
That would have been great. So
Cubed, because what a missed
no,
opportunity.
actually, it's my dream to make Cube cubed. I would love to do that.
I hope you never have the money to make them.
I'd do that, gosh.
Yeah, no one was gonna greenlight you, Jordan.
My dream. I mean, they
As long as I can
greenlit.
star in it,
best
as long as I can
greenlit
star in it,
three.
and say,
And
as long as
third.
I can star in it, and I can say, "Holy cats! Holy cats!"
Yeah, what?
Who says that?
I thought
said
Neil
that?
Breen was
So
on
odd.
set. Neil Breen was definitely
Yeah,
on set for
so
this
oddly
movie.
specific. I don't even know what that line, but
So I just like love this movie for some reason. I still try to wrap my head around like why is it that I absolutely love these movies? And I
yeah,
mean,
you love Escape Room, you love Cube, you love Platform, all these movies.
yeah, I'm trying to get to like the bare essence of what makes these movies so good. And it's something about like cult classics, like a very gritty, kind of feels like almost grindhousey movie-ish, but cheesier. I don't know.
Low budget, no
Yeah.
name actors. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's-
I didn't even name the actors. There's Nicole DeVore, Maurice Dean Wint,
No one
David
worth
Hewlett,
mentioning.
Andrew Miller, and Nikki Guadagni.
I genuinely believe that the kid who played that, like the special needs kid, was the best actor out of everyone, without a doubt.
Can we please
I wonder if
give
he'd be canceled today.
the Oscar to Wide Eyes guy? Oh my gosh, he has the biggest eyes. Like
Who, Knife Guy 2.0?
the killer guy.
Yes.
yeah, Maurice. Yeah, his character Quentin. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's.
Yeah, oh my
he goes
gosh,
off the
dude.
deep end for sure.
Yeah, he had those Nightcrawler eyes.
I know.
Huge eyes.
It's just,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and he was like, he'd be in like the backdrop of a shot, and you just see like the corner of his eyes, like. And you're just like,
yeah, for this podcast, when I started it, I was like so happy that it was so good, and then I rewatched it 2 more times, so I've seen it 3 times, just getting ready for this because this is an amazing movie, and I think I'll be watching it many more to come because it's a cult classic, and I love it.
Awesome.
what cult is following this, dude?
Clearly, somebody, Cameron, if they made 3.
Or
Yeah,
it's a Neil
they're-
Breen situation where someone has ridiculous, or Tommy Wiseau, just so much money they don't know what to do with
Well,
it.
they can't let this die. So like the whole premise is it all takes place in a cube, and the set design is very simple because you just put different colored lights behind the
Yep.
backdrop, and you can have different rooms in a cube.
Dude,
I
no,
don't
but
like the red ones.
dude.
Red.
And then at the end, red. Blood.
Yeah.
Red.
Red. Yeah, his hands covered in blood. Oh, yeah, that was great. I watched this movie the first time. I actually fell asleep, but I remember thinking, halfway through it, just because, like, it just failed to grip me, and I was like, oh, it's kind of like one of those films where it's, like, lower budget, single set
Terrible
design.
in every way.
And you got
So
strange
good.
dialogue. Like, they really took some character choices there and some liberties.
Oh my cats.
It kind of reminds me of like one of those movies where it's like, yeah, we didn't have it finished writing, but we had like the director was behind the camera and he's like, say something about, create conflict between the two of you. And
It
it's
was
like, what
Neil
would you
Breen
say?
behind the camera,
Holy
Ty.
cats. Yeah. And it might be one of those language things too, where he's like, oh, say like Santa Madre or whatever, like Holy Mother or something. And he's just like, cats. Say, mio gatos. or whatever. They're like, hey, cats, holy cats. It's like, who says that? No one says that. Like, I was so oddly intrigued by Nikki Guadagni's portrayal. Holloway, the doctor, she baffles me. She's the craziest person of all
Yeah.
the movie. And even more than Crazy Eyes, Quentin. So so watching it again, I actually enjoyed it more on this watch than the first time I watched it, which is surprising because this movie benefits from every watch, and it is kind of like a it's not necessarily even a popcorn flick, but it is fun to watch with other people because it is
Popcorn
laughable. It's laughable and it's fun.
Yeah,
and
it is.
It's silly. Like I was finding myself having more fun than I did the first time, even though I was like, and I actually remember getting frustrated thinking, what is the mystery at the end? Because I don't remember the ending of this movie. And then I watched it and I'm like, oh, no wonder I forgot the ending of this movie. The movie doesn't end. I mean, yes, there is an ending, but I have a lot of problems with it. So a lot of questions. But it was thoroughly more enjoyable the
Which
second watch.
ending is worse, the Cube 1 or Cube 2? Dude?
Yeah, oh, yeah. This
Just
one
getting
ended much
assassinated by the government? Like, what the fuck?
This one ended a lot better than one, but it almost ends like Platform, where you're like, I want to see 5 more minutes, please. Like, please. Like,
Oh yeah, good point.
not
Platform
just
did it.
a lighted tunnel. That is not an ending. I know it's supposed to be symbolic of something else, but you haven't given me enough to believe that. Like, that guy's gonna get outside, and now he's in the middle of the fetching desert somewhere, and the dies. I'm sorry, the starves to death out in the middle of nowhere. We don't know where he's from. And anyway, let's, Cameron, what was it like watching it for the first time, rewatching it for the podcast?
Well, it was my first time watching it, and it will most likely will be my last. It was very interesting. I don't even know what to say. While I was
by the time we get to episode 200 on the podcast, Cameron, we'll just rewatch Cube and then have you watch it again.
do a marathon, watch them 1, 2, and 3 back to back.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the best trilogy of all time. It's not Dark Knight or Lord of the Rings. It's the Cube.
Yeah.
It's just the Cube trilogy.
Move over Toy Story. Yeah, Cube 1, Cube 2, Hypercube, and Cube 3,
Zero.
Cube 0. Cubed.
Watching it, yeah, I knew as soon as the opening scene when that guy died, I'm like, oh, I'm in for a trip. The way he died with just no explanation, no like showing of anything, and it's just like he got minced like meat, and I'm just like, and I love how it said as like a titled as a horror. And I was just like, oh boy. And especially coming off, I just watched Midsommar last night. And so watching this right after Midsommar, I'm like, wow, there's definitely a difference in someone who knows how to make film and someone knows how to make masterpieces like Cube.
Cube.
Yeah. Midsommar, man, subpar, right?
Yeah, it's very subpar compared to Cube.
Yeah, I knew that was the consensus.
Yeah.
Did you like Midsommar? Sorry to divert from.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It was very good, very disturbing, but very good.
Yeah.
And then there was just a lot of things that were just really trippy. There, like this when they looked outside the cube, it reminded me of like Attack of the Clones, like on Camino or whatever. The like the water place that you find Django on. I was just like, what the fudge is? What alternate planet are they on? And they're just like just outside.
Giant dark hole
I'm
that
like,
extends
what?
forever.
Yeah, my favorite part is it was when my feelings and my emotions toward this movie were perfectly wrapped up in a quote in the movie where he was like, "This better be it," and I was like, couldn't have said it better myself. There was like 4 minutes left in the movie, and then one of the characters was like, "This better be it," and I was like, "Yep, this better be it. Otherwise, I'm killing myself." But yeah, it was quite the trip.
I don't know why I didn't notice it before. I'm such an idiot.
It's not a gift. It's just my brain.
It's just my brain. Oh,
It's
man.
just a brain.
Professor, that college student, man. So let's get into 2 of our favorite things from this movie. Cameron, why don't you start us off?
I think my favorite thing is just like how unrealistic everyone acts. Like the girl.
Like people telling calm people to like calm down.
Yeah.
like don't be frightened. Like people are obviously terrified, and then they walk over and they're like, "Hey, it's okay. It's gonna be fine." And they're like, "You don't need to console
my
them.
favorite
They're
part
fine."
is Lev.
Well, I love how much Quentin like flips from like 180 degrees. How he's like telling everybody to calm down, everything's gonna be okay, and then he's running around stabbing people and stuff.
Yeah, like Levin made no sense. She's like immediately as soon as she's in the tube, she's like ah. And he's like, I'm not gonna hurt you, and she's like and she just has like eyes like. I'm just like, what is happening? I have no idea why everyone is like so randomly dude. And then everyone was just like, let's kill the special needs kid. He's in on it. I'm just like, what? Some kid with special needs who's like humming and tapping his face. Everyone's like, kill him. I'm just like, what? It's kind
Well,
of
not kill him. They wanted to leave him behind.
Yeah, and get up, man. There's got to be something worth living for, right? Like the search for meaning in life, and what's his face
it
is
kind of
just
reminds me of what
slacking
you
off.
always bring up, Ty, with the people who like are cannibals in like 2 weeks into the apocalypse. That's how I felt with this movie. People are like, they've been trapped in the cube for like 30 minutes and they're already ready like to murder each other. I'm like, what?
But as far as we know, they could have been in their weeks.
But hey,
there was a montage, so it could have passed
at
time.
At least the feminist chick, she's like, we say they can't take away our morals. I was like, what the F am I watching? And then
They'll sure try.
my second favorite part, I think just like the overall, just how the plot was like so stupid of like, this is the same room we started in. See, I knew we should have stayed in here. That like giggle she has, she's just like, I'm like, I would be so disappointed in my life if that was literally all I had to do was just stay in that room and not make a bad decision. Like, and then like how many people died. Yeah, just the overall plot and how like wonky it was just kind of made my day.
The rooms are moving, Cameron.
And how the
The
fudge...
coordinates.
Yeah, how do they figure... Like, that's...
How did I not see it before? She says it like 3 times.
Yeah, and she figured out stuff, like, way too easily. And she's just like, oh, yeah, they're prime numbers.
Hey, Cameron, do you know how many things I have to factor in with numbers this big?
And then the special needs kid is just like a fetching calculator. Like, what the fuck? Just like throw any numbers, like 4, 2, 2, 4. And they're like, it's good to go.
Prime numbers.
Prime numbers. Oh my gosh, so funny. So I'll get Jordan. Why don't you say 2 of your favorite things?
Oh, I will never get sick if they make a million of these Cube movies, and I hope they do. I love this movie for so many reasons. Probably Simon Knifeman Part 2, like Cameron said, 2.0. Quentin,
he's actually 0.5, Jordan.
0.5, that's right, because he's before. I love a good, like
Psychopath?
people that are just pushed past their insanity point, and just like when a normal person is put in a dire
situation.
In a dire situation, and they just act absolutely insane. And I guess you could compare it
anything
to,
that they ever believed in.
I guess, Cameron, you could compare it to Prisoners, where normal people are put in a bad situation.
Did you just compare it to Prisoners? Never, ever say that.
Just teasing.
Ever again.
But I love when people just go absolutely insane, which I love his change when he's holding her outside the cube, and all of a sudden his face, you see that drop in his face, and then he's just like, lets her go.
What the randomest character shift ever. When he goes from almost risking to like ending his own life to save her to being like,
Dives out to save her, then lets her fall in the same heroic act. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't either. It literally makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, I get that he needed to be...
And it wasn't like he barely saved her. Like, he jumped out of there, like, out of the building, and, like, easily could have died if someone didn't grab on his leg.
Yeah, and only because the people behind him grabbed his legs. And then, like, while he's hanging out there, he's like, I'm going to risk literally letting her go at the risk of her yelling and screaming, like, why did you let me go? But she never yells. She just screams all the way down. Yeah, very interesting. So what's your second favorite thing?
Oh, and then it would have to be the traps. The deaths are pretty great, in my opinion. I looked into it. I believe that first death was actually like a big practical body that they had like that diced into different pieces, which I thought was awesome. And then I love the guy that jumps in the room. Like, I love when they bring in a character and he's like, I'm going to get you out of here. And then he jumps in and gets shot in the face with acid. Then he comes in and he's like,
Who is he? He's like some master escape artist? Like,
he's a Houdini. Yeah, he's like a master escape artist. He got out of prison. He's like a... What is it? They said he's an escape artist or whatever.
Is that an old TV show, Howard Houdini? Because I've heard that quite a bit in older movies.
I don't know if it's a TV show. All I know is that there's a Houdini that can escape out of any trap. That's like where you hear it from. So
because
he's like a Houdini. He can like get out of a straitjacket and a water tank before he drowns. You know,
yeah, because I love when he's like, I'm Howard freaking Houdini.
So that's who Howard Houdini was. And apparently this guy was taken out with a little bit of acid because he sees the little clicking sound. Oh, shiz! Or he says merde, which I'm pretty sure is shiz in French, if I'm not mistaken. And then it sprays him right in the face. He's like, ah!
Dude, he got destroyed.
Yeah, and then like he's like doing okay, and then the acid like quickly takes his whole face. Like pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I love that the
R-rated
traps.
real quick.
Yeah. Or just the guy at the beginning getting chopped up, like watching
or
blood
those
seep
looks
through all
by
the...
fetching knife guy 2.0. Oh my gosh, dude, those looks in the corner of like the backdrop, those give me nightmares.
Or how about when he
funny.
walks in the room and she's like, stop, and then those little like wires are right around him, Cameron.
And then he turns
Dives
into
out of
Tom
it.
Cruise, and Mission Impossible's out of there. I'm like,
Dives
what?
out of it.
My favorite is when he goes in. They
It
go in the
reminds me of
silent.
Resident Evil, Jordan. It reminds me of Resident Evil, the lasers, and Resident Evil 4, where you have all the lasers in that hallway.
Yeah.
Anyway, it just reminded me of
and then
that
the knife room. I was holding my breath. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so intense.
The knife room?
Yeah, remember when you had to be silent, otherwise all the knives come out of the wall.
Oh, yeah. The sound activated trap, so they all have to be quiet.
And I love that Quentin's like, I am not going if we're bringing this other guy, because, I mean, obviously he makes way too much
He's a
noise.
trap.
Cameron, did you think he was going to die going in that room?
Oh, 100%. And then the kid literally tried to kill him. He's like, And then he gets in there. I'm gonna kill it.
I'm gonna kill him. Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't send
Him
Let's
first.
see. Him first, because if you could, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what you're supposed to do, but anyway.
You just leave him
Like, I was
behind.
like, I wouldn't trust him on that side watching you go down there, and I wouldn't trust him waiting on the other side, waiting for you to come to him, right? Like, I'm on everyone else's side on this one, but then again, that's just life. And I actually have some thoughts about that. I want to talk to you guys about that, about this whole experiment. But so I would say two of my favorite things. This movie is oddly specific and like quotable, and the lines of dialogue feel like they were written by like something that me and Jordan did in high school. Like our Mormon capturing had lines very akin to this, where like we understand like, oh, there's supposed to be a scene where there's a character that has it together and tells another character to calm down.
A dramatic shift.
And yeah, and it's so dramatic. It's just like, hey, calm down. Everything's gonna be
like a
all right. And
school
like the
play.
person seems fine. It's like airplane, you like start shaking him and slap him in the face. Like, hey,
Yeah, it's like-
step out of it. The
Yeah,
person's totally fine.
and someone's
but,
just like straight faced, and they're like, "Don't worry, everything will be okay." And I'm like,
everything's gonna be fine. Yeah, everyone remain calm.
fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like maybe they're just saying it more for themselves. So it's like oddly specific, which I really like. Like, and another example of this is like he's like, "How did we all get here?" It's like supposed to build through the mystery, and then the doctor, pierogies. I went to the fridge and I ran out of sour cream, and then I woke up here all of a sudden. It was so oddly specific and like so many weird details. I'm like, now you're just getting me very confused. Like, was her
I
dinner
did not
important
understand.
at all to her
I did not
kidnapping?
understand
Like,
how that was involved at all.
yeah, like it made me laugh because I was like, it's so oddly specific where they're like, oh, like you got kidnapped just doing your everyday thing. And I get that sometimes with a movie like this, it's like, okay, we have to shoot it all in the cube. Yeah, we can't shoot it outside the cube. Like there's nothing shown outside of the cube. There's nothing after it. There's no prelude to it, right? It's just all takes place in this one setting. So I give him props for that because again, the whole like, how did we all get here? That mystery, like Fish Out of Water meets like the mystery of like we all have amnesia in a way where they're like, and then some people are withholding information. Like that always, it never gets old. Like it doesn't matter. House on Haunted Hill, everyone has amnesia, Unknown, all these movies, Jason Bourne, like I can't believe I'm putting them in the same ballpark, but where they don't know
Yes, please stop.
the underlying mystery of it all. Yeah, that's great. And like how they all got there. Like someone put him there, obviously, and then they're like,
But who? The aliens?
they deduce that there has to be a way out because they put him in there. But it's like, did it not occur to you that they could have put you in and then shut and activated a trap behind them, leaving you trapped in there? I just thought that was really funny that they're like, well, if we got in here, there has to be a way out. It's like, I suppose, but if I'm to assume that this is a trapped place, they could have activated the traps after they left you there. That's just me. Come on. I guess you got to have some faith, right, that you can get out alive. You're going to be okay.
It's
That
way
makes me laugh
too
when I hear that.
sophisticated to be built by the government. It was the aliens. Let's just stop worrying about the aliens, okay? I was like,
Oh my gosh.
what?
So I love it. Oddly specific, very funny. Any nitpicks you guys had or questions that you had?
Any nitpicks?
I have a nitpick.
Which?
Does sucking on a button like keep saliva flowing? Like, is that a real thing? Like, and if it is, does it work? Does it do anything? Does it hydrate you anymore? I'm not sure it does. I am very skeptic about that.
Also, would that girl really make all of that like fuss for like choking on a button? I literally thought she was like dying, and then she's like, "Ah! Oh, she's choking on a button."
Oh yeah,
I'm like,
that was
"What?"
great. She jumps in the room and they're like, "Oh, it's probably poisonous gas," and she's like, "Ah, I just swallowed my button."
I was like, what?
Holy crap! Oh my gosh.
That and then dude, so many things, too many to count. Trying to think of like some specifics. I didn't really understand like the whole how she figured out like the prime
You
numbers.
can't think of
and then
any
also
because
just
it's the
like the
perfect
cube and
movie.
where it was located. That didn't make any sense to
May
me.
as well have been
Let's
directed
see.
by Christopher Nolan himself.
Clearly, I'm not a genius like her.
So one of them annoyed me was like, one of them that annoyed me was when Brainiac over there. One thing that annoyed me was when Brainiac over there, the college kid, she was like, oh, like 685 is not a prime number. And I'm like, oh, really? Because it's divisible by 5? Like, I'm not even a mathematician or anything. I know nothing about numbers, but I know that any number that's even or is
A 5.
divisible by 5 or 10. It's like obviously is divisible by 5. I just thought that was so funny. It's just like 685. It's not a prime number. I think it's the first time she discovers the whole prime thing. So maybe that was it. But I just thought that was really funny. I'm like, no good. And then like, oh my gosh, she was so mean to him. She's like, at least he's good for something when they have him.
Yeah. Oh
the
my
mentally
gosh.
handicapped guy. Like they were so discriminatory and mean to him. Like it was so sad.
And they were also like, well, you haven't done anything to the cop, like out of nowhere. And I'm just like, what?
Oh man. So I have a question. Do we understand why they're all different people? They're all there. They're all supposed to fit in with each other, like Clinton was saying. What was all that about? We all fit together. The doctor, an escape artist, handicapped guy, the lady with the numbers. The college
he
student.
could do the numbers
The
though.
builder.
That's why. And then
So-
she
What's
could.
that?
Well,
And
no,
she-
he
and
could
she-
remember.
She could
he
do math and he could do math. That doesn't mean that they were designed.
But he was way
to be
better at
together.
math.
No, but he could bring him and figure out the factor of it, and then she could figure out what was a prime number.
So, and then there was just a random escape artist, and then just a cop. Like, what? We were chosen.
I guess he was supposed to. Yeah, he was supposed to keep law and order.
By murdering everyone,
kinda turns-
becoming the outlaw.
Here, so real quick, let me share my film theory thing about this. This whole box is a representation of capitalism. Got it? Okay. So you have all these different professions and all these different people interacting with each other, and who gets left behind in a capitalist society firsthand? People that are handicapped, right? Like there's an obvious reference in this movie to like, what are we supposed to do with him? He can't function in the society. He can't be of value. So what are we going to do? We have to have a welfare program to try to help this guy. I don't know. That was just one thing that like kind of that I saw, and I was like, okay. But like in the end, they all had to selflessly sacrifice themselves for the one handicapped guy to go on. Did capitalism work? Did they have to sacrifice capitalism? I'm very confused. Did they transcend capitalism? Did they all die so the handicapped guy could go on living?
And die in the desert.
Wandering in the desert, because all we know, he's out in the middle of the desert somewhere. He's gonna die.
It's gonna be just like The Signal. He's about to get out and just fucking realize he's on an alien ship. He's like, what?
Yeah. No, but see, humans built it though. See, the guy, he built it for some nobody, right?
But
and then they had to make it look useful, right?
That nobody could have been an alien, Ty. How do you know?
Yeah. I love one of my favorite scenes. Like I call it the Oscar reel. There was a great moment where the doctor was like, "They came into our home. They they stripped us bare. I want to know who's responsible." Like, I like that. That was great. It was great acting, and the doctor was going for it. She was really going for it. I
Yes,
liked
she
that.
was.
Chewing the scenery, getting oddly just like
Oh,
really
that was another one.
sinking her teeth.
Dude, some of my nitpicks were just like some of the camera angles. I was like, is this the only angle we had on this shot? Like the people's faces are like distorted because they're like oddly close, and the other people are like oddly far away to where you can barely see them in the shot. I'm just like, whoever is the director of cinematography on this set needs to be fired now. Immediately, because what is happening?
I loved it. I loved the quick pans. I thought they were great. I
love everything about this movie.
I
watched The Departed last week, and going from looking at the camera work in The Departed to this, oh my god!
And you're like, oh man, that's where Martin Scorsese got it from.
Martin's been watching all these fetching Q movies. That's where inspiration came from.
I'm trying to think. I have to find more of my notes, but yeah, okay. So let's address the question: why did he let her fall? Like, what was to be gained? Was it to see how deep the thing goes? That was my only thing. Like, the practical reason for letting her go is to see if she could survive, right?
Yeah, I thought about that.
I think it was just out of rage.
Well, yeah, because she also kind of challenged him, and she essentially.
And Ty, didn't you know she knew information? She knew about his wife. Oh, she was in on it.
Oh yeah, he knew that he probably hit women, but that was revealed after she died, wasn't it?
No, but wait, after she was in the cube, and she
was in the cube, and she was like, "Oh, you bet you like
he
hitting
slapped
women."
her, remember? And she's like, "Oh, did you hit your kids too?"
Hit your kids too. There you go.
And she also said that's probably why your wife left you or whatever. And I'm like, geez, she's laying it on. This man is not the man you want to be challenging. Have you seen his eyes? Have you seen his eyes? Does he look like a man you want to be messing with right now? Girl was taking her chances, bro. Woman empowerment got her a whole lot of power.
Yeah, see, Cameron, if we ever end up in a cube, better not push my buttons, okay?
I'd definitely kill you before you'd kill me. 100%. I'd kill you in your sleep. You wouldn't even see it coming. Mi caracol.
Yeah, I just find that death kind of needless. But again, you're right. Like, she knew his secret. I just thought it was maybe in the moment he dove for her, and then he saw an opportunity where he could let her fall.
The only thing that I saw it as is like, what's it called? He kind of like processed and like was trying to get back at her because of her like maybe being a part of putting them in there because she knew about his past, which I don't know how she would know about his past unless she was like involved in the experiment. But then again, why would you dive after her? The dive after her has zero explanation. It's literally impossible.
Well, maybe it's to show the rest of the people inside the cube that he's like making an effort.
But no, everyone would have understood if she just fell to her death.
Instead, he's like gonna save her and then let her die. And then, like Ty said, you said, Jordan, she makes no effort to be like, don't let me go. She's just like, ah.
Are you kidding me? I'd be like,
I'm like, you let me go. You killed me. And then, yeah, good luck hiding
Yeah,
that.
why are you letting me go?
Yeah,
Why are you letting me die?
yeah.
Because I think it was too late by the time she even realized what was happening.
Even though she knew that he was going to let her go when he looked at her that way.
And then she fell
like-
for like 13 seconds. Pretty sure she could have yelled in that 13 seconds of falling onto freaking the Star Wars planet. Freaking Camino over here.
That was crazy. I love that though, and like there's a few times where he starts getting psychotic, where he tells the guy that's like weakly motivated, he's just like, show us you have some backbone, jump into the sushi machine, be a man. I love that. I don't know why, it was so great. He's like this big mean figure, and he's super caring at first. He's the one that like gets everyone to rally, and I guess he just gets a little, I don't know, being the leader of the group, I guess it drove him mad. I don't know. Like, what was it that snapped in him? Was it just the food situation?
Being a leader drives you insane.
Yeah. Anytime you
Working
try to
with
step
people
up and you
will
try to
drive you
take advantage
insane.
of the hierarchy, you put yourself over everyone else. You're the leader. Everyone looks up to you. It's a lot of pressure, and you can cave under it.
I love when he starts grabbing the other guy and just starts hucking him into the rooms.
Yeah, he starts dropping him in through the floor. So you go down first. I love that.
yeah. Also, that cynical guy, I did not understand. Just his existence was just interesting. I was just like, what have you provided to the plot?
He designed it, Cameron.
What have you provided to the plot?
He designed it.
And then for a second there, I thought him and the stupid college girl were about to like.
Also, the way that college girl described her parents was like, it was like a robot. It was like Siri trying to describe what it's like to have a family. She's like, my parents, they just like do things.
They're just nobody, yeah. They're just nobody, and I just live at their place. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm like,
I live on their
what?
couch. I'm
Is this
nobody
like-
of consequence.
Yeah, I'm like, is this a dictionary definition of what a college student that lives at home is? Like,
But mind you, she was like, I've been blaming myself for ruining the world since I was 7. And I was like, oh boy, I bet she knows how to party. She's like, ever since I was 7, I hated my carbon footprint and my existence here on Earth. Like, what a joke. I mean, she is so funny. She, oh my gosh. Like, the whole environmentalist message, it hits all the boxes. But again, like, maybe to his credit, he believes all these things, but it always makes me laugh. There's the really dramatic scene with the I don't remember what his name was. The guy that like gave up on life. He was the guy that built the box, and he's all talking like, "Hey, we're both part of the system. I drew a box. You walk a beat. Keep your head down. Don't look at the bigger picture. Speaking against like the elitist and everyone oppressing you that put you in this box in this oppressive society." So I don't know. Like, I liked some of those through lines, but I don't know. Sometimes I want to see the elites. I want to know who are pulling the levers. Are they malicious people? Are they
aliens?
interested? Are they are they scientists? Or who are they?
aliens?
Like,
Well,
you never
then I
see
guess,
them.
Ty, you're going to like Cube Zero because they get into that a little bit.
No way. Did they get out of the cube? They finally get
Yeah,
out
they
of the
show what's
cube?
outside it.
well, they
Oh
show
my
what's
gosh.
outside it in Cube too, and just the government. They just fucking shot him. Like, what?
They just even show them. You just see.
Thanks for the knowledge. What?
Thanks for the knowledge. When you jump through a square,
I think this movie shows you just what you need to see, honestly. Like, I know it would be cool
Yeah.
to see more outside, but I think it's enough to enjoy, and then you kind of fill in the gaps, or it kind of leaves it a bit dubious, which I like.
oh my gosh! I just remembered in my notes I put so the scene with the doctor. He like Okay, Quentin, dude, he takes a trip because he's like, I think it's right after he almost gets killed, right? After the noise room, he's all like, I'm going to get rid of this guy. He's a trap. And then the college student's like, get your hands off of him, you Nazi.
No, that was the woman. That was the woman. That was the feminist.
Oh, it was the doctor,
feminist.
right?
Yeah.
And then he goes up to her and he's
What
like,
did you call
hey,
me?
you're all It's like, oh my
Because you don't have a
gosh.
man.
Yeah, you don't have a man to be with, to love you. You're all like, and then she pegs, like, what was happening there, dude? Like, was super psychotic. And then she's like, yeah, well, you hit your wife and your kids or whatever. It's so crazy.
That was wild.
It's because he can breed people. That was his gift.
Like
remember?
an X-ray machine. I swear, if he used that analogy one more time, I'm gonna kill myself.
Like,
I can see through like
machine.
X-ray machine. I'm like, we get it, dude. You have a gift at reading people. If you say X-ray machine one more time, I might hurt somebody. It's like a flash, like an X-ray machine.
Yeah. I also wanted to make this pun when they were like, we've been going in circles. They say that. And I was like, don't you mean you've been going around in squares? Or cubes? Wanted to say
think that
that.
would've been
Just
fitting
wanted
for
to
the
make
film.
that joke. It would have been fitting. I think it would have been funny. I think it could have added a little levity because they're not going in circles. They're going in a big square. I also like the scene where they like admit, she like figures it out and like cop is like, Quentin's on the deep end. And she's like, I know where the exit is. And then she's like, he like looks at her and she's like, stay away from me. Why is that so funny? And then like because he like tries to get close to her again after he's already like tried to sexually assault her, and like she's like, what does that mean? And it's like she looks up at him, you suck at math. Like I love that. And then Kazan, my man, I don't know why that's so great. And then they ask, what is out there? And boundless human stupidity. Like, what? Like, outside of the capitalism? Like, I don't understand that. He's like, out there, there's just going to be new oppressive hierarchies. Like, right? I don't get the message of this movie. What does this movie even mean? Like, is there something better out there? Do we form something better? Is human nature so flawed that we couldn't form a better system than capitalism? Are we stuck with what we got? Are we in purgatory?
I
Is this
did not-
how-
Or you could be like the
Capitalism
nihilistic
at all,
character and say, you know, there's nobody behind it. There's nothing.
There's nobody behind it. It could just be nothing, yeah. This is just a failed government experiment.
Yeah, it could be
They have
talking
to
about
look like it
religion.
works,
It could
so
be
they'll
talking
put
about
people
religion,
here.
Ty.
Religion,
That
yeah,
no
all
one's
the
behind
institutions, right? You could be talking about. There was definitely more religious aspects to Platform, though. This one had fewer.
Yeah,
like it had less religion. Like it almost seemed completely out of it. But I do like what you're saying, Cameron, because you could look at any institution. And
Well, yeah, because the guy
project
said no one's
onto
behind
right?
it, because he's the atheist, saying there's no God, there's no one like behind the madness and
Right.
suffering.
There's no higher power. Right. Because whoever's out there, they seem to have forgotten about
Yes.
us, right? Yeah, that is interesting. I like that. Because that is a through line through a lot of the movies that we see. In fact, I think it's in the other movie we're going to review, All the Little Things. So, you know, if there's a God out there, I think he's pretty tired of all this. You know, that's very interesting. Well, I got to say, I really enjoyed talking about this movie more than I did in watching it. So, but watching it the second time was even better. So I knew I could count on you guys for the stimulating conversation. Do you guys have any other things you wanted to throw about Cube?
Absolutely not.
I love this
Exhausted all
movie.
my
I-
resources.
More human stupidity.
I'm looking forward to watching this one again and doing the best trilogy of all time.
That's how I
Boundless
feel about
human
keep
stupidity,
watching,
that's-
talking about this movie.
We're all going to hell.
It reminds me of Savannah, you know, when she goes,
So we're actually not going to be sharing movies that we've seen lately because today we have something very special for you listeners. Today, Cameron, Jordan, and I we have prepared a list of what we deem to be the top 10 directors of all time. And by that, we just mean our favorite.
Yeah, our
directors.
favorite directors. I was gonna say, like,
And their three top movies. Like you have to share
our favorite movies of theirs. Our top,
Okay,
our
okay.
three favorite movies of theirs.
of theirs. Yeah, kind of why. Yeah, and they don't have to be in necessarily the same order, but yeah, they're three best
well,
movies.
and when we do the top three, are we saying like this is their first, and this is my first favorite. Are we doing those in order as well?
Sure. I have that ready.
I don't care. Just say the top 3. It doesn't need to be that specific.
Mine's
Let's
Okay.
just do the
I
top
just
3
wanted to-
movies.
because I'm freaking.
Yeah, mine's
genius.
gonna be in order too, so you can.
I think mine might be in order. I don't know. I didn't think that specifically
Well,
about
Okay,
that
well,
aspect, but I guarantee my list is gonna blow the shiz out of your list.
Well, Ty,
okay?
my list changed when you said they only needed to be 3 films from that director. Because before I was like, is it the director that has the most movies I like, or is it the director that I have 3 solid films?
Very interesting question. I'm excited to share my
Quality
list
over
because I think it'll
quantity,
surprise you.
and
both.
Jordan's gonna be like, "Well, mine have
Quality over
quality and quantity."
It does.
Oh, let's start with honorable mentions. Do you guys have an 11?
I do have an 11.
I have even a 12.
I have a 12 and 13.
You do have
so-
a-
Yeah, I have 11. Yeah.
Look at us all. Okay, so I struggled with my honorable mention because it went between Alfred Hitchcock and Wes Anderson. So my 11 and 12 is literally tied. They didn't make the list, but Wes Anderson for Bottle Rocket, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Isle
Oh,
of
see,
Dogs.
I was
and The Nice
debating putting
Kingdom.
Wes Anderson on my list too.
Yes,
It was so hard
yes.
to let him go.
It was really hard to let him go. So Wes Anderson didn't make the cut. And Alfred Hitchcock, North by Northwest, Psycho, Rear Window, excellent movies. So,
Yeah.
but Cameron, what about your honorable mention?
My honorable mention was Bong Joon-ho with
Oh.
Parasite.
I
Memories
should have
of
put
Murder.
him on.
I
I
feel
know.
like an
Sure.
idiot now. Yeah, it's crazy that it didn't occur to me, but that's excellent. Oh, what are your 3 movies from him? What would you say? Parasite and
My
what was the
favorite
other
is of his is Parasite, and then Memories of Murder, and then Okja.
two? And Okja. That's crazy you made Okja because that movie is a turn off for me.
Oh, I love Okja.
I like
love
it better than Snowpiercer, and I thought Snowpiercer was trash.
Oh no! Snowpiercer is so much better than
Garbage.
Okja.
No.
I'm sorry.
No,
Garbage.
I like Okja better.
Yes, no,
You guys
Snowpiercer's
you both
garbage.
like Okja better
Yeah,
than
way better.
Snowpiercer was
Snowpiercer?
so
Yeah.
stupid.
Oh man, Snowpiercer is better than Okja. Okja's garbage, man. Like I guess you
No.
like watching a humpback hippopotamuses getting.
Dude,
That's what I felt like the movie was doing to me the whole time. I'm like, is this an allegory of how the audience feels after watching this PSA announcement about
Dude.
animal cruelty? Like,
no, Ty. Dude, Jake
there was
Jake
one
Gyllenhaal
funny
made
TikTok
that
or,
movie for
or
me.
meme or whatever that came out. There was a lady at a supermarket and she's like, this is my reaction after watching Okja. She passes like an aisle of bologna and like tubed meat and she just falls to the ground, starts wailing and crying. It was really funny. She's like, It's really funny. Like,
Dude,
that was
I just
funny.
love Jake Gyllenhaal's character in that. Is hilarious.
It does not beat the performance given by Chris Evans
No,
in
I disagree.
Snowpiercer.
Disagree.
Disagree. You guys
Chris
are
Evans
crazy.
did a
Just
good
saying.
job, though.
I'm glad we are arguing about the ones that didn't make the cut. This is going to be a long list. Jordan, what didn't make the cut for you?
I know. Mine at number 11 was Ridley Scott.
What?
Dude,
Really,
that's
Jordan?
that's funny. Yeah,
Considering he's got your
Jordan,
favorite
because
favorite movie ever.
Yeah, that's crazy. Dude.
I know.
Blade Runner didn't make
Just
it.
because he is my favorite movie doesn't.
I know,
because
I know. I'm aware.
Yes, you have to look at all the other films, right? I'm in the same boat with you, Jordan, because
Yeah,
I
well,
actually
see,
made a list
my best-
also of my favorite movies that didn't make.
My favorite movie of all time was directed by a freaking genius who actually made my top 10. So that just tells you how much better my movie is than yours, Jordan.
oh, brother.
I love it. Yeah, that's hilarious, Cameron. So that's interesting, Jordan. Yeah, Ridley Scott. So let's get into our number 10, our slated number 10. So Jordan, you said Ridley Scott didn't make the cut. Ridley Scott made the cut for my number 10. Ridley Scott's movies in order: Alien, Blade Runner, and Gladiator.
No, I did
actually,
Blade
I have
Runner,
throw-
Alien, then
I might say
Gladiator.
Martian over Gladiator. I don't know. I like Gladiator, but I really like Martian.
Gladiator's
too.
great.
That's a hard one. Yeah, it is great. But
Sorry, Ty.
I'm just
Blade
thinking,
Runner is above Alien. I'm sorry. You got those mixed up.
No, dude, I love Alien way more. Ridley
No.
Scott, dude. Alien, so best movie. So that's my 10 space. Cameron, how about you? Who's your 10th director who made the
The
list?
Coen brothers. And
Oh, the Coen brothers.
my
Nice.
number one.
Which one though? Joel or Ethan? Who do you like better?
I know. I look at them and I'm like, I should put them in together. I had my favorite movie of theirs is Burn After Reading, and then second is No Country for Old Men, and then Big Lebowski. It was hard.
I'm
it was
sorry,
hard
you have them
between the
too
Big
low.
Lebowski and Fargo. I was like,
Yeah.
see, because the Big Lebowski
that's a hard choice.
first like 45 minutes to an hour of that is 10 out of 10, but then it kind of trails off.
So funny. But dude, that's all part of the movie. It's not supposed to result in anything.
Yeah, it's
That's
the
the sad
dude.
truth. That nothing happens to the dude. He just abides. Nothing traumatic happens. He just abides. The dude
But
abides.
that one dude
Oh,
just
man, I love it.
destroys his car. Hey, it's not even my car.
This is what happens when you mess with a stranger, Johnny.
This is what happens.
All right, Jordan, what's your number 10?
Number 10 is Michael Mann. In order of my favorite movies, it's Heat, Manhunter, then Collateral.
Oh, interesting.
Last of Mohicans is good, but Manhunter just made my top 10 favorite movies of all time after watching it for the
I need to check
like,
that out
50th
because
time.
I really enjoy Heat and Collateral.
Yeah.
So
I do like Collateral. I still need to finish Heat because I fell
Yes, check
asleep
it
and I
out,
heard
Todd.
it literally is The Dark Knight. I do need to see it. Yeah.
We'll do it on the pod, so I mean, you
yeah.
can wait.
Right. All right. So, coming in at number 9, I have a Sir Steven Spielberg, Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, Saving Private Ryan, Minority Report, Jaws, and Schindler's List. Just had to throw those in too. I mean, holy crap, this guy. But Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, and Saving Private Ryan. Like when I think of movies, like those are movies. Like I grew up watching Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park, and I remember being so floored by those movies. Just gave me my love and appreciation for movies and like how they can transport you into a different world. So. And iconic characters and things like that. So people that you want to aspire to be, worlds that you wish you could visit at a safe distance, of course. So Steven Spielberg for sure. Cameron, how about you? What's your number 9?
my number 9 is Mel Gibson, and my number 1 is Hacksaw Ridge, and then 2 is Braveheart, and then 3 is The Patriot.
That's funny. You guys are already surprising me so much already. I'm like,
No,
holy
Ty,
crap.
actually, our lists are, I didn't realize how similar they'd be. My number 9 is also Steven Spielberg.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Number 9, dude. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
What are your 3 films?
And then 3 films would be number 1, Jurassic Park, 2, Catch Me If You Can, 3, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Interesting that you like Catch Me If You Can so much of his. I didn't even put it on this list here. I like it, but like when I think of Minority Report,
You
Jaws,
think
and all
Minority
the
Report's
other
better than
movies,
Catch Me If You Can?
I do. I really like Minority Report. I think
That was
it's
a good one,
great
though.
film.
I love
I
that
hate
movie.
that movie. It gives me the heebie-jeebies with the eye part.
Oh yeah, it's super disturbing. Yeah, but it's wild. Like that movie is crazy. Like so, I love that though that we have both at 9. That's pretty crazy. Okay, let's get into number 8. I have Mr. Edgar Wright, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Edgar Wright is number 8. Cameron, who do you got for number 8?
My number 8 is also Edgar Wright. I have Baby Driver. Baby Driver is number 1, Hot Fuzz 2, and then Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Those 3 for me.
Excellent, dude.
I'm sorry, Edgar Wright will not be on my list. I'm sorry, guys.
Is that right? He didn't make the
No,
cut? I
not
thought
a
for sure
chance.
he made it, Jordan.
Nope.
What's your number 8, Jordan?
Number 8 is the Coen Brothers as well, Cameron.
The
yeah,
Coen
sorry,
Brothers.
it was too low on your list.
I
I'm
literally
sorry.
had it at 10, and you were like, it's too low. You're saying that as if you had him at
too
like
low.
3 or 4. Chill.
Too low.
And for my Coen Brothers favorite movies, it's number 1 is Inside Llewyn Davis. Number 2 is the No Country for Old Men. 3 is Burn After Reading.
Interesting.
What was the other one you
very
said?
Interesting.
But-
Inside Llewyn Davis, Cameron, that's a really good folk song music movie. Oscar Isaac is an amazing actor. I
Oh
love
my
that
gosh.
movie. Justin Timberlake is in that one too. That's a really good one. It's like it was one of those movies that I looked up the soundtrack afterwards, Cameron.
Yep.
Like if you
Inside
wanted to
what,
get into folk
Jason?
music and become a
Inside
hipster.
Lewis Davis.
No, Inside Llewyn Davis.
We'll do it on the pod, so
Yeah,
no
we,
rush.
we will do it on the pod someday for
Yes.
sure.
Oh,
We'll do
But
a,
Inside
I think we
Llewyn
should
Davis
do
is-
a month
I
of
really
Coen
like Oscar
Brothers.
Isaac.
Just
Yes, he is awesome. So, for sure. But I love that movie too, Jordan. I think it's great. So, all right. So, we had number 8. So, that's so funny that we've matched up Steven Spielberg, Jordan, on 9, and me and Cameron matched up on Edgar Wright on number 8. Number 7, I have Danny Boyle, 127 hours,
Too low.
28 days later, and Slumdog Millionaire. So, that is my number 7, is Danny Boyle. Cameron, how about you? Number
My
7.
number 7 is Steven Spielberg, with Catch Me If You Can as number 1, Saving Private Ryan is 2, and then Schindler's List is 3.
Oh, look at that. Hey, Jordan, you didn't need to cry to like the movie.
Yeah,
I'm just
gosh,
saying.
you guys were like, you don't have a soul. You didn't cry. I'm like, doesn't mean I think it was beautiful.
And he's like, I can still appreciate the movie. You're like, how are you not crying right
I
now?
know, just because that part when he's like,
That's so
he's like,
funny.
oh, I could have done more. I could have gotten one more. It's still beautiful. It doesn't
Oh,
have to cry.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
And you
Heartbreaking.
guys were all like, you don't have a
No,
soul.
you do
I
have to
remember
cry,
like the entire family group chat was like, Cameron doesn't have a soul.
Cameron, we're praying for you. We're praying for you. So I love it. Cameron had Steven Spielberg at 7. Jordan, who is your number 7?
David Fincher.
David Fincher.
I'd say number 1 is The Social Network. Number 2 is Zodiac. 3 might be number 3 might be The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I can't decide. It's either that or 7.
Also, he's way too
Or
low.
7.
Your
Interesting.
highs
Yeah.
high.
That's so funny that you say that. Yeah, I gotta say, David Fincher did not make my
I'm
list.
so disappointed in you, Ty. I've
thanks
never
for
been more
the-
disappointed in my entire life.
I had him in honorable mentions for a while, but he got bumped for sure.
Honorable mentions?
Because yeah, Social Network, Zodiac, 7.
know.
Again, Social Network is one of my top 10 favorite films. But again, I was like, Zodiac, 7,
Club,
Gone Girl,
Curious
Fight Club. I
Case of
love all
Benjamin
those
Button.
movies, but like as far yeah, the number 1.
Best movie he's ever directed.
Benjamin Button, yeah. So yeah, so Danny takes my 7. Cameron's got, or Jordan has David Fincher. What was yours, Cameron? Steven Spielberg, right?
For what,
So,
7?
Number, yeah.
Dude,
So number
The
6.
Curious Case of Benjamin Button
Oh,
will always remind me of that Voldemort scene in Harry Potter 7 Part 2 with Voldemort under the train station. The shriveled old like dead body.
Voldemort
Yeah.
under a train bench.
Yeah.
All right, number 6. I have the now deceased Stanley Kubrick, 2001: Space Odyssey, The Shining, and The Killing. And that was tough because I actually thought about The Full Metal Jacket. I like that one too. So yeah, Stanley Kubrick made my number 6. Cameron, how about you?
My number 6 is Taika Waititi. With number 1 is Hunt for the Wilder People, number 2 Jojo Rabbit, and then 3 is Thor Ragnarok.
Have you seen What We Do in the
is-
Shadows, Cameron? Okay, I was just curious if you'd seen it because I was like, that would have heavily impacted.
See, but
because I do like
I
Thor,
watched
but-
that in
We Do is-
2017. I really liked the TV series. I need to rewatch the movie because I remember watching it and I just
movie's unbelievable.
I thought it was funny, but it
So
was like
funny.
you guys way overhyped it for me just because you were like, it's like The Office except like vampires, and then it was just really really like dry and slow. Which I mean, The Office is, but like you get so into it.
For sure. Jordan, how about your number 6?
My number 6 is also Stanley Kubrick.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
what are
so
your 3
funny.
favorite films?
And then but my movies are different. Number 1
Okay.
is Clockwork Orange. Number 2 is The Shining. Number 3 is The Killing.
Oh, so we both have Shining and Killing, yeah, for sure. I love 2001: Space Odyssey. I don't know what it is about the movie. Do you like that movie at all?
It's just crazy slow. I love
It is.
I love
It's
parts
so
of
crazy
it.
slow.
And I mean, it's definitely on honorable mentions because I have like 7 of them listed.
You're so funny,
That
Jordan.
is wild.
because
You like Clockwork Orange
something
so
like
much.
that
I
is
can't
so
stand
slow,
that movie.
and you love like Blade Runner and then Blade Runner 2049. Both of those are freaking slow as shiz.
Yeah. I would even argue 2049 is slower,
I
although
I
it
think
does
it
have
is slower.
pulse. Yeah, but it has some sweet action set pieces though. Freaking wrestling with David Bautista or whatever. Oh my
Who
gosh.
Drax? Yeah, he's freaking insane.
Yeah. I always call him David Bautista. I think that's his name. It's Bautista. So that's great, Jordan. But again, I cannot stomach Clockwork Orange, so I'm amazed that made your list. But over Full Metal Jacket, Strangelove, and things like that. But number 5, I have French Monsieur Denis Villeneuve. Got Prisoners,
Too low.
Arrival, Sicario.
It's too low.
So Danny Villeneuve made my list. He's at number 5 for
Yeah,
those
too low,
movies.
sorry.
Who do you got, Cameron, for number 5?
I'm sad because I feel like he's too low, but it's just because of based especially on the 3 films. I have Quentin Tarantino with number 1 is Inglourious.
Oh no.
with number 1 is Inglourious. 2 Django, and then I think I would probably go maybe Kill Bill Volume 1 as 3. I don't know. I
It's okay. They have the whole bloody affair, Cameron. It's Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 in one movie. So now you can count it as one movie.
So here
I
we
looked it
go
up.
again.
It's 4 hours long. Look it up. It's a movie. He re-released it. So, and now it counts as one movie. It's one cohesive story. Volume 1, Volume 2. What's so hard to understand about that? Jordan, what's your number 5, Jordan?
Number 5 is Martin Scorsese.
actually never mind.
Number 1 is The Departed.
Sorry, Reservoir Dogs is my 3. No, I mean, and Pulp Fiction is my 3. I'm high as a kite.
Pulp Fiction. That's
That's a
hilarious,
good one.
Cameron.
Yeah, so I'd say my favorite of his films is The Departed first. Second would be Cape Fear. 3 is Wolf of Wall Street.
Interesting.
just-
interesting.
I mean, so many more of his films, but those are just the 3 that are my favorite.
So, for my 4th place, Jordan, I have Martin Scorsese, just a little bit higher ranked than you. I had The Departed,
No.
Wolf of Wall
I
Street,
think
and
he's
Goodfellas.
way better of a director than I give him credit for, but that's just
Yeah.
like personally.
Yeah.
I won't watch every single one of his films. Like, I mean, I have, but almost every single one. I just, like, for example, Silence that you
Hey,
like.
Jordan, it's okay to have a little bit of remorse for your list. You know?
I know.
It's not
Well, okay,
perfect.
but
It's okay.
Silence, for example, like, I got halfway through that. I don't know how you watched that. That movie's boring.
Oh, no, dude. That is a powerful movie. Didn't make my top 3 for Scorsese, but I love that movie. That was a passion project.
Okay,
of
what
Scorsese's.
were your top 3? Sorry, you were
So
saying.
I love The Departed, I love Wolf of Wall Street, and then Goodfellas.
Okay,
and it
yeah,
was so
Goodfellas,
close
that was a
between
hard
Raging
one.
Bull and Goodfellas, but I love Goodfellas. That is such a cool gangster
So
movie.
good.
It's amazing.
And Ray Liotta, I want to see him have more work. I love that guy. Whatever happened? I feel like there's an
Fell off
alternate
the
universe where
planet.
Ray Liotta is like the biggest star of all time, and yet somehow. Anyway, so that's my number 4. So I just wanted to jump right in after you said your 5th.
He reminds me a lot of, what's the guy from Pulp Fiction? What's his name? John Travolta.
Who does? Oh, Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actor Ray Liotta.
He
yes,
looks a
he
lot
does
like
kind of
him.
have a.
And kind of got
It's
that
like a similar
vibe,
build.
yeah.
They could do a face-off movie with John Travolta.
Yeah.
But you can't have a face-off without Nick Cage. Maybe you could do like a face-off sequel, which they are doing. Did you guys know they announced Nick Cage and John Travolta are doing a sequel to Face Off?
Oh, heck yes.
They're doing
Oh,
it.
boy.
I cannot believe.
I can't
live
wait
in
till we
such a
do that
great
on the
time.
pod.
Yeah, we live in such a great time right now.
I can't wait for that to never get released.
Dude, Nick Cage is desperate. So is Travolta. They both need a facelift. No pun intended. Face Off. So I had to do 4. It was Martin Scorsese. Cameron, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is also Martin Scorsese, with number 1
Is
as
that
Shutter
right?
Island, number 2 as The
Yeah, right.
Departed, and then 3 is Wolf of Wall Street. And then, 4.
I knew you had to have Wolf of Wall Street.
4 is probably Goodfellas.
You seen that one too, Cameron? Yeah, that's a great gangster film. Love it. That's awesome. Let's get into Jordan. What was your number 4?
Number 4 is Quentin Tarantino.
Tarantino. Look at that.
And then my favorite of his films, I know I'll get some flack for this, but I like Death Proof is my favorite of his films.
That's so
Boo.
crazy. It's your favorite. It's so weird that it's your favorite. I mean, I know you like it, but
Number 2 is True Romance. I
True
mean, you
Romance
can
is
fight
solid.
that it's not
It's
his
solid.
film.
oh my gosh, he didn't direct. He wrote it.
He wrote it, but it's still my second favorite
Dang
movie.
it. He's not
Yeah,
the
he didn't
director of
direct
it.
it.
You
And then-
can't choose it as your movie.
No,
he
it's
didn't
his.
direct it.
He wrote it.
Otherwise, we would have chosen Phil Lord to direct what's it called, the Into the Spider-Verse, but he only produced it. Chip.
Yeah, Jordan. Yeah, back up. You have
Hey,
to put
I
it-
still count it as his films because
You're gonna have
it's
to-
in his
okay,
universe.
well then you have to say your top 4 because I refuse to accept True
Oh,
Romance.
brother. And then Inglourious B is number 3. And then number 4, if I have to pick one, it would either be Pulp Fiction or Django. I don't know. Those are kind of tied. They're so
Yeah,
good.
it's crazy. So my number 3. Now we're getting into bronze medal place, and guys, listeners of the podcast, I'm sure you're just dripping with anticipation.
That
We
or
are
you're like,
talking-
these lists are insane.
These lists are bonkers, but it's kind of funny that we're all like trying to one up each other. So my number 3 is Quentin Tarantino. He gets the bronze medal. Just saying, better than Jordan at number 4 and Cameron at what did you have Tarantino at 7? Cameron, you loser.
5.
5. Ugh, shudder. Tarantino gets a medal.
Each had him one
Because
higher than the other,
he
and
is,
we're like
he is one of
so
the few
low down.
directors. He is one of the few directors to this day that I cannot wait till he makes another film.
Yes, that's
And
true.
That's one of the reasons why he places
what-
on this
is that
list.
how you
And
felt
also,
about after Once
just
Upon a Time in
another
Hollywood
little
tie, huh?
tidbit. Another little tidbit. Have you seen Tarantino in interviews?
Are you so excited after that?
Have you seen Tarantino in interviews where he like
He's a film
yells
geek.
at people that criticize his films? I love it. He like, that's the point, Jan. Get it? They're fun. He talks about violence in movies and how it's just supposed to be a fun time. And people are like, aren't you concerned about the hyper violence in your films? He's like, no, they're movies. Like, I love it. I'm sorry. It's so great. So Tarantino's films, number 1, it's called The Whole Bloody Affair, Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, in one movie. It's 4 hours long.
Blasphemy.
It's the best movie of all time.
you get
it's the
one more
greatest
movie.
revenge flick ever told. It's one of the
It's
greatest
funny you call it
revenge
one
flicks ever
film,
told.
but when I asked you which do you want to do them as one film on the podcast, you're like, no, we have to do it as 2 parts.
Oh, yeah, Ty.
Yeah. Well, I have so many thoughts. It's so long. Unless you want to do a 2-hour podcast, I'm okay with that. But I know how little you like doing 2-hour podcasts.
All right.
So The Whole Bloody Affair, which is awesome. Inglourious number 2, and Django Unchained number 3. Not close. So, of course, I love Reservoir Dogs. I love Pulp Fiction. Love those movies. But
Well,
when
I
it
love
comes
all
to
his films, but
revenge tales, all 3 of those heavily revolve around revenge.
Dude, that's all I can think of anytime I hear him.
Look at me, I'm fetching deformed.
die.
So
Reservoir Dogs. That's all I can think of is Tim Roth just yelling in the back of the car.
I'm gonna fucking die.
I'm gonna friggin' die, man. All right, Mr. Orange, get yourself together. All right, Cameron, who gets your bronze
My
medal?
bronze medal is Denis Villeneuve, baby, with my
Denis Villeneuve.
Number 1 for him is Prisoners. Number 2 is Enemy, and then 3 is Blade Runner 2049, and then Sicario
interesting.
and Arrival are honorable mentions.
Those are wonderful films. I can't believe that Blade Runner 2049 took it for you. I think
Blade
that's
Runner
really cool. You like
2049.
that movie.
It's a freaking masterpiece.
I
Has
do
an
need to see that
amazing
one again.
soundtrack.
That's one I've seen once, and I did like it, but I do need to see
Mesa
it again.
and Tears in the
Jordan,
Rain.
Jordan, who gets a bronze medal?
I know you guys are going to hate me for this, but Christopher Nolan, I'm sorry. He's number 3.
Blasphemy.
No.
Blasphemy on the
Okay,
podcast. Blasphemy.
And then, I mean, we've already mentioned in order of our favorites, but I do. Number 1 is Dunkirk. Number 2 is Insomnia. Number 3 is Interstellar.
Insomnia,
one
dude.
right.
I can't get over that. But I know so much about you, Jordan. I understand you enough to know. But really, Insomnia wrapped up in garbage bags.
Wrapped up in garbage bags.
I mean, I love Pacino, man. He keeps making
Love
your
Pacino.
list. Heat and Insomnia. I love it. Okay, so we did everyone's bronze. Second place, silver medal goes to Christopher Nolan for me. Christopher
Oh,
Nolan.
I thought he was going to be 1.
Yep, Christopher Nolan gets the silver medal. Dark Knight, Inception, and Interstellar. Oh, that was a hard choice between Tenet and Interstellar. I can't decide, but I'm just going to go with Interstellar. Dark Knight, Inception, and Interstellar. Christopher Nolan, I got to say, he is the most underappreciated director that we have living today, which is another reason why he's so high on my list, because he is another one of the few directors that I just can't wait for another one of his films to come out. And I'll see every single one of them in theater. I'll wear an oxygen mask. I'll wear a face mask. I'll get a shot in the eyeball if I have to go see it. I love seeing his films. I think he's a great director. I know a lot of people criticize him for having material over the characters, but I think they're mistaken, because I think he intentionally chooses characters that are guarded. Anyway, I love his films. I think Christopher Nolan deserves to be at one of the top, and he's a great
Top. Both of you disgust me.
underrated. I just can't believe he has no best director credits to his name. Although he does have a Criterion film, The Following. It's his first film, but still, it's just wild to me that he's not best
I was going to
director
tell
in
you,
any of
there's
these
2
things.
movies that we've done on the podcast that made the Criterion Collection. Can you guess which ones they are?
Movies that we reviewed on the podcast.
Yeah,
so
we
we've done
reviewed
The
it,
Following.
and they just barely made the Criterion Collection.
So Following was one of them, right?
Yeah.
And
No,
then-
that was number 3, so there's 2 others.
Oh, there's 2 others. Wow. Were any of them directed by Nolan?
No, but they're directed by the same person, though, if that helps.
Oh, so someone. Let's see. Who have we done? Were they Tarantino?
No.
No. Scorsese?
No.
Who else have we done? 2 movies.
No.
Denis Villeneuve. They were directed by the same person.
Yeah.
Taika? No.
No.
That was a good guess though, because I don't know who else would make the Criterion.
Steven?
No.
What the?
I should blow through all the movies we reviewed. It's hard to know off the top of my head.
All right, I give up.
Think of a prestigious film we reviewed, one that won something.
Oh, Bong Joon-ho?
Best Picture.
Yeah, there you go, Cameron. So Parasite and Memories of Murder made the Criterion Collection.
Oh, Memories of Murder did. That's interesting. I would say Parasite should. I did love Parasite. I think Parasite was such a great film. So good for him. That's super awesome. He's getting recognized. He won't be lacking for work. And I love that he made your list, Cameron. I'm super jealous because, again, Parasite is just an awesome film. So I want to know your silver medal, Cameron.
David Fincher, baby!
David
With his number
Fincher.
one.
And it
Look at
didn't
that.
even
Your
make Ty's top
film
10.
didn't make the top director. I think that's interesting.
With my favorite film, as you predicted, Zodiac. Number 2, I would have to say Gone Girl. And then it's tough, and I have to give it out barely to 7 over Social Network.
I figured
Barely.
7, yeah. I figured 7 was
But
going
The
to win.
Social Network is freaking phenomenal and a flawless film.
It's amazing.
Yeah, holy cow. Yeah, he's hitting home runs for sure. I mean, I toiled with Fincher for a long time. It came down to the crummy feeling that I get when I watch his movies.
He's not exactly a feel-good director, Ty. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm making a list, I would much rather sit down with my family with a Spielberg than I would with a Fincher.
I think the most uplifting film he has is maybe The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, or maybe sort of Fight Club.
I haven't seen. No, not Fight Club. Social Network is much more uplifting than Fight Club.
But
Well, it's because you're a family man,
But you
Ty,
see how
and we're 2 single
you
guys.
see how depressing his life is in Social Network, though, when he's trying to ask out what's her name to get dinner, and then she's like, I can't.
Like I said, it's still the least depressing. I don't know what Benjamin Button is. I haven't seen it, so maybe it's not as sweet as I assume it is. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's super flowery, but no one seems to like that movie. I never met someone
funny.
that's like, Benjamin Button's like one of Fincher's best works.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Fincher, you didn't make the top. I actually thought that was going to be your number one, Cameron. I'm curious to know who your number one is now. Jordan, what is your number two silver medal?
It's Danny Boyle. I'm sorry, but
Danny Boyle.
I think you had him too low, Ty. I love him. And like Ty
Failed
said,
to put any of his movies on your top 10
Oh wait, no,
list,
Ty,
though.
you like 127 hours? Oh, I love 127 hours.
Oh, I love that movie. Let me just...
That's
hey,
right.
it made my
good.
top 20. Yes, it didn't make my top 10.
I
it made
know,
my top
dude.
20.
The top 20 was the hardest thing to do, or because you have to bump.
Try top
it's
100,
Yes.
dude. That's what I've
crazy.
been working on.
It-
It was even hard doing the directors. I can't, and I got to have 3 of my movies so I could feel safer, about my decision.
Well, and so, yeah, number 1 is Sunshine. Number 2 is 127 Hours. Then 3 is Trainspotting. I love...
Number 1 is Sunshine.
An honorable mention is 28 Days Later. I love his movie
I can't
so
believe
much.
28 Days
I
Later
can't
didn't make
believe
the
it
list
either, dude.
over.
I think that's my favorite
I know.
movie of
I
his.
know you like Sunshine. I guess. Oh, and I'm even surprised that I chose Slumdog. I actually put it was either that, Steve Jobs, Sunshine, Trainspotting, or Millions.
Oh,
Like,
I know.
could've
Well,
gone.
yeah,
They're
I mean,
hard-
all those
hard
are honorable
picks.
mentions. Like, I love
Right.
all his movies.
But I do remember watching Slumdog being like, Bollywood movies can be good. I'm just saying. Like, they had a dance number in the end credits. I'm like, this is wonderful.
He
I
should
don't
have
know.
directed the new 007 movie. I am
He
devastated
really should
for
have.
that. So
hey,
mad.
speaking of what should have been, Quentin Tarantino, my bronze winner, he should have directed a Star Trek film.
Yes.
That would have been unbelievable.
I knew it was never going to happen. I'm like, there's no way. I'm
No,
sorry.
there's no way.
There's no
But
way.
it would have been a wonderful. Although he could write one,
Not a
and they could
chance.
just censor him.
Yeah,
Mm.
not a chance.
He could write one.
Dude,
No, because he probably won't direct. He said he's going to direct 10 films.
Because, dude, I don't think Star Trek has ever gotten an R rating, so they would never want to do that.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying he could still write it, and they could just censor him out. Where it's really crass.
You can't censor out Quentin.
Yes, you can. It's called True Romance, Cameron.
True Romance is still pretty. It's still pretty violent.
The only
yeah,
reason
off the
that
hook, yeah.
got given to a different director is because he needed to like get his name out there and he needed to become famous. So
Yeah, and dude, I would love to see a True Romance directed by Tarantino.
I don't know. Tony Scott made it great. It's
Yeah, for sure. I know you like that movie, guys. It is time to give our favorite directors of all time the gold medal, the highest honor in the valley. I don't know what valley I'm talking about. My number one pick is Joel and Ethan Coen, the Coen brothers. I chose Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? No Country for Old Men. And I couldn't decide between Burn After Reading Fargo, The Big Lebowski, True Grit, Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Inside Llewyn Davis, and A Serious Man. Are you kidding me with this day? Like, I can't point to a single film that I don't like. The least likable film of theirs is Blood Simple, and it's still amazing. Can't forget Raising Arizona. That's an amazing film. They're
Terrible
like
film.
the greatest directors I think of all time. I dream and fantasize of being a director like them someday and making films with Jordan, and we would be the Coen brothers. We'd be
Wow,
the
that's
Christensen
cool.
brothers, but we'd have a cooler name.
Love you guys too.
Joel and Ethan
I feel
Coen
so included.
are so incredible. That list of movies, like, it was so hard to choose. And it's funny because if you guys, my top 10, none of those movies made it, but No Country for Old Men is like 13 or 14 on my list. And so is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? It's in the top 20. And so I was like, oh wow. Like, and then I look at all the other films they've done. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, their brand of humor like hits me. And I don't know why. Their humor, their action, their
it's their
suspense.
characters. Their characters are the best characters,
characters.
I think, of any
Yeah,
director.
I mean, like you want to talk about like a good use of George Clooney. Just look how the Coen brothers use him, and
Yes,
both
yes.
Burn After Reading and in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and Brad Pitt and Burn After Reading. It's just
I
unbelievable.
think the only person
Like,
who sets up characters as well as the Coen brothers is Quentin.
yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Like Quentin Tarantino
Like,
could take
yeah.
someone like John Travolta and access him somehow in Pulp
Like he
Fiction.
could take someone like Brad Pitt and just make him like Lieutenant Aldo Rain and just the
Yeah.
funniest dude you've ever seen
Yeah.
in your entire life.
But again, that is also a credit to Brad Pitt as an actor, because you watch him also with the Coen brothers in Burn After
He's
Reading,
the
and you're like,
goofiest
who
mofo
is this
I've
guy?
ever seen in
yeah,
my life.
yeah. Can't believe he didn't give me the money. I really thought he was going to give us the ransom money. Yeah, I would say Coen brothers take the gold from me. I'm blown away by their filmography. I watched The Ballad of Buster Scruggs and I ate it up. I was like, I almost wish it was one movie, but I loved each of the mini films that were in it. I'm so glad they had a deal with Netflix. I'm like, they'll never have need of work again. They'll just always be around. I love the Coen brothers. I think they're prolific and their films are super funny, super oddly specific, and have very iconic characters. So, yeah, all around the Coen brothers is my gold medal. Cameron, how about you? You're number one.
My number one is the best director, Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan.
Holy cow, this dude.
Greatest director of all time, Cameron.
This dude, The worst movie I've ever seen of his is The Following, and I gave it an 8 out of 10. So my favorite movie, of course, The Dark Knight of his, and then it goes Interstellar, and then Inception, and the Prestige would be my fourth. I love The Prestige. The Prestige is just every one of his movies. Dunkirk, Tenet.
Do you like Tenet or Dunkirk more, Cameron? It's a weird question, but
Oh frick! Oh, dude, Memento actually might be well. Memento's better than both Tenet and Dunkirk, I think.
really,
And
that's
Insomnia.
interesting. I don't know if I agree with that, but Insomnia. We've already said, yeah, our lowest ranked film.
Well, no, The Following.
Oh wait, Karen, you put Following under. Do you put Following under Insomnia, or do you put Insomnia? I remember we talked about this, right? You said Insomnia. is
Yeah. I put Insomnia above it.
above it.
Thank
Oh
you.
really?
Yeah,
Following.
I really enjoy. What's this?
Oh, me and Nick are on. Me and Nick are the ones that think Following is better than Insomnia. Yeah.
I would probably have to go with Dunkirk over Tenet. No,
Yeah.
probably Tenet. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's too hard.
Yeah, great films, but they're so different. Yeah, it's so hard. I love it. Christopher Nolan made your top.
Yeah, and there's such different genres because like I love the soundtrack of Dunkirk is like it's so depressing and like it's just amazing, but like because I'm not gonna watch Dunkirk a lot, but then I don't want to watch Tenet a lot because it hurts my brain too much. So both of them aren't like super rewatchable for me of Christopher's.
Love it. Jordan, how about you? Who takes gold for you? The number one director of all time. Your
My favorite
director.
is Denis Villeneuve. Everything he does, I love his foreign films. I love his new films, and
Polytechnique, Incendies.
highly
You gotta say what's number one, Jordan.
anticipate his movies. So my favorite of his movies is Prisoners. Then
Yeah.
I'd say Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
Then Sicario.
Really,
So.
Sicario?
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know you liked Sicario.
like it
I thought it was
over-
gonna be Arrival.
Enemy?
It was hard. It was between that and Enemy, and Arrival's pretty close.
I need to rewatch Arrival because I watched the first time and I did not enjoy it, and then I had someone explain. I had Matt Knudsen explain it to me, and then I enjoyed it more, but I still need to rewatch it.
And his foreign films, Ty, are amazing. They're not rewatchable, but they're really good because they're very sad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Incendies was crazy.
Well, I don't think he knows how to make a. I think Blade Runner 2049 might be his most uplifting film
Yeah, strangely, I think you might be right. So,
because it kind of ends sort of optimistic and with the tears in the rain, and then like Harrison Ford meeting his like daughter-ish.
Arrival sort of has a happy ending.
Not at all. Kidding me?
Arrival. Oh yeah.
Of all the countries coming together?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
At the end,
Yeah,
it's super hopeful at the
but
very
isn't-
end. It has a darkest hour for sure, but then
Yeah, but
it ends positively.
No, but isn't it like with the she gets cancer, her daughter gets cancer, or whatever, and dies and shiz in the future?
Yeah, but
But the nations are together.
all the countries come together. So
Yeah, but for the protagonist, it's sad as shiz.
Yeah, but would you rather have lived and lost rather than never having lost at all?
Would I rather have world peace or have my child die? I'll take my child surviving and having to like turmoil over that.
So, did you guys have? So, are there top 10 movies that you guys did that didn't make the cut when you were going through it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys track that? One I thought was interesting. So I did Princess Bride. I love Rob Reiner's films. Like he did A Princess Bride. This is Spinal Tap, which I love. A Few Good Men. Misery, like that Stephen King movie. I was like, that's crazy. Like I never knew like he did, because I love Princess Bride. I think it's a perfect movie. But I thought it was funny that I'm like, yeah, like those movies, I do enjoy them all, but I don't think of them as like my favorites. So he didn't make the cut at all. But do you guys have other directors that or movies that were in your top 10?
Dude, Zack Snyder. I love The Watchmen and Dawn of the Dead, and that's in my top 100. But I would never. I couldn't give him like top directors.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I feel like he reminds me too much of Michael Bay.
Yeah, he somehow has kind of turned into a parody of himself somehow, right? Like,
Yeah, Ty, for me, it was Richard Curtis, who directed About Time. I don't even know anything else that he's done.
Isn't that funny? Yeah, it's like one hit wonders. Mine was the Nightcrawler guy. I love Nightcrawler, but Dan Gilroy, he did like
Velvet Buzzsaw.
he did Roman J. Esquire, which I haven't seen, and then the Velvet Buzzsaw, and I just keep thinking Jumanji monkeys coming through the painting. You know, I'm like, oh, and the tattoo on my neck, and then the person that's all gored up that looks like an art display, and no one seemed to notice it.
Yeah.
I just don't even know what those movies were trying to say. Nightcrawler is one of the
that's how it
top
was
10
for me,
films of
Ty.
all time. Greatest performance of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Nightcrawler.
But I can't figure out, there's no other movies by him
Yeah,
that I can point to
Nightcrawler's
and
the
say,
same for
like,
me. And that's the same thing for Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Richard Kelly, man. He lost me.
yeah, like what other
Yeah,
film?
Yeah,
He's
those
got
films are
like The
weird,
Box,
Cameron.
Domino, Southland Tales. I'm just like, the fudge.
Oh, The Box is Oh man, I almost think I would have enjoyed it more had I known it was directed by Johnny.
No. He didn't direct it. He produced that, Cameron.
Oh, he produced it. Okay.
Yeah, but then,
I figured
then
because I was gonna say I didn't
and
think
then
he
the
did.
only other one that didn't make it was Jordan Peele, but that's because he's like done like 2 movies, like Get Out, and then
Well,
Yeah,
that's what I was going to
yeah.
ask, Ty. Can we do another list? Because I already have written out a top 10 list for upcoming directors. Can we do that next time? Because like I have
Upcoming
like
directors.
my favorite upcoming directors, like the Safdie brothers. We got like Robert Eggers, who did The Witch in the Lighthouse, like Ari Aster. I don't know. Do you want to do
I
something
think
like
you
that?
just named them all.
yeah, for,
No. I have 10. I have 10 right
do
here.
not have 10,
Yeah.
but sure.
Oh, I do.
don't have 10, but
I know
was
I said
actually
you
gonna
do.
I was going to do top favorite actors personally. I
Absolutely.
think that would be a fun list.
Okay,
to
no.
do.
I'm
What do
just
you guys
wondering
think?
because if we're not
Yeah.
going to do it, can I just list off some?
Yeah, I want to hear this upcoming directors because I agree the Safdie brothers. Holy
Okay, yeah,
crap.
Safdie brothers, who did Good Time and Uncut Gems, cannot wait for their next film. I did see their first one. It's okay. And then I saw,
Shows Uncut.
and then I've got Craig Zahler. Craig Zahler. He did Bone Tomahawk, Brawl in Cell Block 99, Dragged Across Concrete.
Okay.
So excited for his next film. Then we got Riley Stearns, who did Faults and The Art of Self-Defense. Cannot wait for
Love
his
those
third
two
film.
films. Those
Yes.
films are unbelievable.
So good. And then we got Robert Edgers, who did The Witch in the Lighthouse. I cannot wait for his next film, dude. Masterpieces.
I would say he is a messed up individual, but holy cow, does the but gosh dang it, does the man know good storytelling?
Yes. And then Ari Aster, Hereditary Midsommar. I can't wait for his next
he
film,
needs
even though
help.
they're super messed
Although
up.
I would
Psychological
pit Robert Eggers against Ari Aster any day because Lighthouse and Cameron, you have not seen
I
Lighthouse,
have seen
you?
Lighthouse, and
Oh, you have? Yeah, Witch and Lighthouse. You haven't seen Witch, though,
I'll never
right?
watch it. No.
Yeah, you'll never watch it. Again, I would pit those two movies against Ari Aster's Hereditary and Midsommar any
Well,
day.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
I would take what's called Lighthouse over Midsommar, barely,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yep.
I would take it.
yeah, and then yeah, and you wouldn't watch Witch or you wouldn't watch Hereditary,
Yeah.
so
It balances out.
So it balances out. So if you take Lighthouse over that Midsommar, I guess
The
yep,
sea-
yep,
the
so you're
seagull
on my
scene is
side.
what sold me in
That's
Lighthouse.
hilarious. What about you, Jordan? I want to know. Do you like Ari Aster more than Robert Eggers?
No, Robert Edgers way better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
And then I got Panos Cosmatos, who did Mandy. And I
Mandy.
started Beyond the Black Rainbow. I don't know, but I'm excited for his next film. And then we got Jim Cummings, who did Thunder Road and The Wolf of Snow Hollow. Are you kidding me? I can't wait for
absolutely.
his
Yeah,
next film.
I'm interested to see what he does. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's so interesting that he's like an actor, director, writer.
Shout out to him who freaking liked our tweet, dude. Let's go.
Jim Cummings, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he liked us talking about him. Very good, very good. You're doing God's work.
And then we got David Cronenberg's son, Brandon Cronenberg, making The
Yes.
Possessor and Antiviral. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Wild
Yes.
films.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
Jeremy Saulner, he did Blue Ruin, Green Room, and Hold the Dark was okay. Like I'm still interested to see his next film.
I am torn about that. I almost hope that maybe I should watch more essays about it. Like I almost feel like after the fact I might enjoy it more. But yeah, it had all the elements that I loved at the very beginning. It started super strong.
Yeah.
It kind of just lost me at the end there, but I'm an idiot, so maybe if I had someone explain it to me, hold my hand through
That's how
it.
that's how I
might
feel about
enjoy it
little
more.
things. Hopefully you can help me, Ty.
Yeah. don't expect too much hand holding. I'm gonna be kind of
I'm
lost
like,
in the dark. with
did I
you.
miss something? Was there like a 15-minute segment that I just missed of the film? Like what?
And then two directors I'm excited about. I know you guys, you haven't seen their work, but Ty has seen one of his movies. Ruben Ostlund, who did The Square and Force Majeure. Like I'm excited for his next
Force
film.
Majeure. Yeah.
Drew loved Force
I do
Majeure.
need to see Square
He
still.
recommended that to me.
Yeah, we're doing that on the pod. It's amazing. And then David Michaud is the last. I am so excited for his next.
Me showed.
My chode.
My chode. My boy, my chode.
Who did The King, Animal Kingdom, and I can't wait for his next movies.
Yeah, The King.
Michaud
That was a
movies.
great film. Me should.
My chode.
There's an aching in my right knee. All right, that's excellent, Jordan. I love that list. I'm very impressed that you have upcoming directors.
Because there's so many people that I'm like, I hope their next film is amazing because I want to follow them.
Because if you just get 3 good films, you're like, they might just make the top director. Yeah.
That's Jordan Peele too. I feel like if Jordan Peele gets, he kind of like swung and a miss on
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I forgot to mention him.
Yeah, no, yeah. If he gets like another Get
Yeah,
Out,
just something.
or even close to Us.
Yeah,
loved
Us was good.
I think Us was good. It just wasn't as good as Get Out.
Get
And
Out,
even like I said, I think he is directing, or he's at least producing a movie right now. Oh, I think he's
No,
directing
he's producing
a new movie.
the Candyman.
Oh, he's producing the Candyman. That's right. I thought he was directing that.
Alex, man.
To your credit, Jordan, you sent me the trailer. I think it looks interesting
good,
enough
yeah.
that I want to see it. Yeah, I do want to see it. I'm always like hesitant to be like, oh, I already know how I feel about it. I'm like, oh, I'll wait to see, like what critics say about it before and not only go off of their recommendation. But
the original
get an
tie
idea.
is so good. Like I want to do it on the pod. I think it's so great.
Oh, really? There's an original. There's a Candyman like foreign film.
This is a remake. Yeah.
Remake of a Candyman.
No, it's not. It's not a foreign film. The original's not foreign.
Okay, good, because we just don't do it right here in America. I don't know what our deal is. Let the right one in. We just do not know how to adapt foreign films, and even Force Majeure. Like we were just talking about that,
Yes.
right? Like
Downhill
I didn't even
with
bother
Will
seeing
Ferrell?
Will Ferrell. I love Will Ferrell, and
I love him too.
Dreyfus, whatever her name is, Louis Ray Dreyfus. I think she's super funny, but I just don't think. I don't know. I do want to see more of like Stranger Than Fiction, Everything Must Go, Will Ferrell. Oh, guys, okay, movies that we're excited to see. I've seen so many good trailers lately. There's a movie, Amazon. No,
about Will Ferrell.
Apple with Paul Rudd and Will
Paul
Ferrell.
Rudd.
He's like his psychiatrist. I cannot wait to see that.
Yeah, that looks funny.
amazing. Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd like teaming up. Like
But then I saw the
comedy.
writers tie. It's the writers of Wet Hot American Summer. I hated that show. I'm really nervous.
That's interesting because again, I just think this is so totally different from that.
I hope so.
To me, it kind of feels like who was that director you just mentioned? That
David
had,
Machode.
Yeah, well, no, because he did King, and then what was the?
Animal Kingdom. He also did the one with Brad Pitt.
Michaud. Maybe it wasn't Michaud. It
War
was
Machine?
one of the other directors. But it was like tonally, it was just such a different fit, right? And you're like, oh, they did the comedy and then the horror. Rob Reiner even, Princess Bride, and then he did Misery. You're like, what? Like you would think that this have anything to do.
Yeah.
Same guy. It's crazy. So I do find that fascinating, though. That who knows, right? This could be an awesome. I'm excited for it, regardless, just because I think Will Ferrell is tapping into something now. Like he's getting older now. Not only is he a comedic genius, but he is so. I think he can be compelling as like a big, lumbering, vulnerable guy. I don't know. I just find something really interesting about that. So very excited. Okay. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is Futro Hidden Movie Gems. Hope you enjoyed our list. What directors did we leave out of yours? Did you guys have a top director in your top 10 that we forgot to mention here? Because if we did.
No way, dude. The dude who directed Being John Malkovich directed Her as well.
Oh, Spike Jonze. Yeah.
Spike Jonze. Yep.
Wow.
He also did the Hunt for the
the
no,
Wild
not
Things
Hunt for the
Are.
Wilder People.
No.
Thank you.
Yep, where the wild things are. Yep, I know. Which
Butchered that.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna butcher it.
Let's just say he's like, wait, this is for kids, right? I think someone didn't approach him. He's like, oh wait, the wild things are. It just sounds like a rated R film, doesn't it?
Yeah. And like tone it back a
It's
little
like, did
bit.
you ever
and then
read the
mix it
book?
PG-13. You're like, this is supposed to be PG
And then he had
or G, but
a literal animal figure get dismembered.
Yeah.
Like it was the craziest thing.
and then the
tore
kid
off his
swearing,
limb.
I don't want to ever
Oh
see
my
it
gosh.
again in my life. I was like, oh my. I watched that in theaters with mom.
I think I was there, Cameron. I know I saw it. I'm pretty sure it was in theaters. I remember thinking,
I think
what
it was
is
you, me,
this?
and mom, and I was just like, what the.
Yeah, it probably was us. Yeah, I'm like in I was like in high school at the time, right? And I'm just
Yeah, I
like,
think Jordan was
what?
on his Mish.
Like, this is my childhood. You're ruining my entire childhood. Thanks, Spike Jones. All right, folks, leave us an email, futuremovies@gmail.com. Check us out on Spotify, right, Cameron?
Yes, sir. And Patreon.
Check us out on YouTube and Patreon, and leave us a review. 5 stars is the appropriate amount of stars. And just like us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Futuro Movies. This is Futro Hidden Movie Gems signing out. Peace.
We're inside the cube.